What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another race reaction. Formula One, I guess. This is season 1, episode 6 of the 2023 season. Okay, so let's get this started, shall we?
Doing the same thing. We've got Hulkenberg on the hard tyres from 11th, and Bottas at the back of the grid also on the hard tyres. Everybody else going for the mediums that we expected. They used a lot of tyres up in qualifying, and Fernando Alonso showed us having no new tyres available for this race. But they do tend to scrub sets as well, just out and in to give them a bit of a heat cycle. So he's still got some decent tyres, and he'll need to clear Alex Albon quite early, will Fernando Alonso. He'll be very aggressive away from the start, I think, from 9th place. Albon, he'll want to hook on to the back of the Mercedes and the Ferrari, and then, of course, hopefully the McLaren too. But Albon's been no slouch either, and he's Williams has been flying along in that. So, all sorts of different ideas how to run this race.
Now, we're on board with Lando Norris. Biggest roar for qualifying yesterday reserved for Lando Norris putting his McLaren on the front row. He hasn't had the best of starts in many of the races this year. He's great friends with Max Verstappen. Has he got a chance today to try and get past his good mate? Can he hold the Red Bull up?
I think, away from that grid start, but, there's so little between them in terms of now the systems they've got to get away from the line. They're on the identical tyres, but Max has got that lovely sweeping line around the outside of turn 1, and he'll quite easily be able to pinch Lando Norris into that corner, even if Norris does get a slightly better start. But I can't help but think that McLaren's fight is with Ferrari and Mercedes-Benz and perhaps Alonso's Aston Martin this afternoon. So if I was McLaren, I'd be saying to them, have a go, try and lead the British Grand Prix if you can, Lando. Do not trip over Max Verstappen or your teammates.
1995, the last time a British driver won his maiden Grand Prix at a British Grand Prix. That was Johnny Herbert. That particular afternoon, Lando Norris trying to emulate Johnny Herbert here at Silverstone this afternoon. Don't discount out Sergio Perez from being right there in the race in the latter stages of this race.
You know what I mean?
Mercedes and Ferrari thinking that he could come through at the end.
Korean television has control of the business, and it's raining in Brackley just up the road.
8 miles away is Brackley, and you can see the dark clouds hovering overhead. You can also see what it's like to race in the Formula One Grand Prix from the onboard cameras as well.
Lewis Hamilton won 2 times in a row at this track.
20 onboards and the team radios too. You can access it via the Sky Sports app. You have to log in with the Sky Sports ID, and then choose your favourite driver. Sky Q, Sky Dance, Sky Spring customers, you can access this via your red button. 480,000 fans are packed in over the 4 days of this British Grand Prix. There's about 160,000 plus that are lining the track today. There are flags, banners, team merchandise as far as the eye can see. I'm looking over to the main grandstand. Everyone has stood up, waiting to get a view of the starts as Max Verstappen does a final warm up of his tyres to slot into that pole position. Queuing today for a 6th consecutive Grand Prix win, which if he manages it, he emulates Ascari, Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg.
And look at Lando Norris pointing hard, right, must be a good 20-30 degrees towards Max Verstappen's grid slot. He wants to be heading straight over there and cut Max off if he can get a good start.
Third career front row start for Lando Norris, the first for the team at Silverstone since Heikki Kovalainen back in 2008. And for Zach Brown, what a weekend it has been so far, and be with us live on the pit wall throughout this race. And the Valtteri Bottas slotting in to that final grid spot. We are ready to go racing at the home of Formula One racing. 5 lights on.
It's like south of me. Here we go.
Tries to come across and kill off Max Verstappen. Oscar Piastri tries to go over the inside. Lando Norris leads the British Grand Prix.
I hope Charles does good today. Charles. I can't pronounce his name correctly in a way.
Hamilton running wide into the complex there in the Mercedes.
For some reason, I don't know.
This is Dreamland. And for McLaren, top spoiler coming up next. There's a bit of a tangle in the back behind Stroll with one of the Williams drivers. Lando Norris all on his own. And on the inside,
And we have 5 days to go until I am 18 years old.
Max gave him so much space on the inside.
Gosh, I think I'm getting old already. I think I grew up too quickly here. Maybe.
Right orange out in front. It's Lando Norris from Max Verstappen. Then comes Piastri. Then comes Charles Leclerc. Then comes George Russell. And Carlos Sainz for Fernando Alonso has made up a couple of places. Yeah, Gasly making up places on the opening election.
Hamilton down to 9th and cars running wide. So Lando Norris is going to lead a lap of the British Grand Prix. It looks very good. Really open the close of this Grand Prix.
Right, here we go. And the first lap completed of 52. Norris from Verstappen. Then Piastri, Leclerc, Russell and Sainz. Alonso, Hamilton, Gasly, and Albon has dropped out 2 places. Stroll up 1, Ocon up 1, Tsunoda, another good start from him, up 3 places.
No DRS for 2 laps after the start of the Grand Prix. We know how powerful that rear wing opening is on the Red Bull. He doesn't have that available for 2 complete laps. Somehow, Norris needs to get over a second ahead if he can. That's the sort of thing we're used to seeing Verstappen do. Norris needs to really hit it in these opening 2 laps.
Behind the scraps taking place, this is Lewis Hamilton right on the back of Fernando Alonso, and before the DRS takes effect, it makes it very tricky to try and get past. Hamilton is trying to make up and make amends for what's not been the best start ever. 3 laps they go. Hamilton a few car lengths behind his old teammate Fernando Alonso. I've seen it in GP2 back in the years. Hamilton pulling off a great overtake, going through magnets and magnets. No chance on this particular occasion, and Norris is currently over a second clear of Max Verstappen.
The Red Bull tends to take a while to fire up its front tyres, and I think that's showing up at the moment. Piastri was looking pretty handy behind Verstappen for a while there, wasn't he? But now, Charles Leclerc beginning to home in on the gearbox of the second McLaren.
And that second McLaren is Oscar Piastri, running in the top 3 in his rookie season, and showing just why McLaren placed their faith in him to take over from Daniel Ricciardo for this season. Max Verstappen just closing by a few thousandths of a second. The gap to Lando Norris, who'll be making his charge and will have DRS on this particular lap. It's now enabled an extra speed through that rear wing gap opening up.
So Charles Leclerc, George Russell, on the soft compound tyre, used it to very good effect away from the start. And Verstappen really didn't get away at all well. That's why Piastri had to swerve hard right and just about followed his teammate through. But Verstappen having the confidence to power around the outside, trying to gain around the outside into turn 3. As that's where you'll see Lewis Hamilton running wide there in the Mercedes, and still Piastri, like a little terrier dog, will not let go of the back of that Red Bull, but it bobbed down a little bit away from the start. It shows just 300 of a second slower on reaction time, but I have to say that McLaren found a lot more grip, a lot more purchase in the traction away from the line.
And that's not the first time this weekend we've seen the driver in second place get a much better start than the driver in pole.
Or at this track in general, lately. Lando looking
Look at my NASCAR story later.
and then finally focuses on the first corner, which is mighty fast here.
So, talking of mighty fast, Max Verstappen was about half a second quicker on this lap than Lando Norris. Norris leading a Grand Prix for the first time since in Sochi back in 2021.
Lando.
30 laps in pole and didn't manage to win as the rain came down and spoiled his race in the end. But that gap has been halved between Norris now and Verstappen will get DRS when he comes out of the loop and entry and down that Wellington Straight, and we know how fast that Red Bull is with DRS. An extra 8 mile an hour advantage just by having DRS, and probably a couple of miles an hour.
Well, I mean, Max tries his best at every track, but I'm just not entirely sure if he is good at this track or not. That's what I'm thinking.
he'll know he needs to use his battery in a defensive way now against the mighty Red Bull.
George Russell's on the attack too, behind Charles Leclerc. Oscar Piastri on the attack behind Max Verstappen.
Okay,
And Lando
so
Norris looking in his mirror
Charles
to see where that Red Bull is. The threat has been averted
whatever.
for the time
Oh my
being.
god, I
2
cannot
minutes of
pronounce
leverage
his
to go.
name
Down the
right.
long straight before we end what is
For
lap
some
4
reason.
at 52. And Norris, well,
I
if he
don't
went to
know
bed last
why.
night thinking, what a great job I've done. He'll have been dreaming about this moment, leading his home Grand Prix with Max Verstappen right behind him. As into Stoke we go, and still a couple of car lengths clear.
So Norris and the McLaren been very fast through Maggots and Beckett's. And also, we've now got Max driving in the dirty air of the McLaren as well. So that might just give, as long as Norris absolutely spots Maggots and Beckett's, they're really fast.
Look how good Lando Norris is doing. Can't you believe it?
I
mean, I can't.
Lewis Hamilton in 2010. Here in 2023, it's McLaren 1 and 3 with Max Verstappen. Right in between, but he looks a lot closer. Does the defending champion to Lando Norris as we head down the Wellington Straight and under the bridge once again. And here he comes, Max Verstappen on the inside, takes the lead of the British Grand Prix with DRS. Looked very easy indeed, but can Norris fight him back around Notfield and through? What can we go now? Norris is going to get a
Leclerc's still in fourth and Saints in fifth place.
Says Max. But you could see the red light flashing on the back of McLaren. He started to harvest power. It was so easy in the end for Verstappen there. As the Mercedes engine in the McLaren started to clip, as they say, and harvest energy, and that made him a sitting duck.
Soldier George Russell was catching up to the back of Charles Leclerc. We're riding on board now with George Russell. Those soft tyres giving him just a little bit more grip out of the corners. And while Lando Norris has been passed by Max Verstappen, he's got his teammate Oscar Piastri right behind him. Into Stoke we go, and Carlos Sainz and George Russell almost coming together. As Sainz went right, and then right at the last moment went left again. George Russell's thinking about a move down the inside of Vale. No chance there. And Sainz now, but right behind these two, trying to get it on the act. Leclerc ahead of Russell, ahead of Sainz, not much to separate them.
Piastri's been putting some pretty handy times in behind Norris. Norris now must desperately stay within a second of Verstappen to keep the DRS, otherwise he's going to be very vulnerable to his teammate.
And here's Lewis Hamilton right behind Fernando Alonso. Hardly anything between these two old fellas either. As down to the Wellington Straight we go once more.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It was a little bit naughty there. There was Charles Leclerc in front of him, darting across the track twice. You're not allowed to do that. But the top 10 covered by 9 seconds. This is a very close grid now. Very close race.
Almost 9 centimetres, I think, between Alonso and Hamilton. The Aston Martin has struggled a bit this weekend. They don't think this is one of their better tracks. The Mercedes on Friday had really good race pace, and Lewis Hamilton is showing that now. As the flashing red light goes on the Aston Martin, harvesting once more at the end of the old pit straight. Now, what magic has Lewis Hamilton got at his fingertips to try and get past Fernando Alonso?
And why do they harvest a lot in unusual places here? Because there are so many fast corners in Northern Straight and not many braking zones where you can normally fill your battery up. So inevitably, you have to be filling your battery with about 160 horsepower.
Fernando Oscar has been told to pole position. His pole position will go together.
It is the right strategy for McLaren here. Max Verstappen is towing along both of the McLarens as Hamilton once more tries to find a gap, tries to find some space to get past Fernando Alonso, and once more will end the lap right behind the gearbox of Aston Martin. You can see the turbulence, how it unsettled that Mercedes car as they ride on board and into Abbey.
It's totally invisible for the driver, but my goodness, he can feel it, and you can see Lewis there instinctively turning left in a right-hand corner, trying to correct his car.
Now this time, surely Lewis Hamilton has got close enough to Fernando Alonso coming out of entry to make the DRS work along that Wellington Straight. There he is. Pulling to one side, going wheel to wheel. By the time they get to Brooklyn's home of the VRDC, Lewis Hamilton is ahead of Fernando Alonso and up into 7th place. And Pierre Gasly has joined that little fight now. Alonso's got some more defending to do.
I think what's quite interesting here is they're dropping the Verstappen, Norris and Piastri are dropping Leclerc, Russell out of seat really on those tyres. And
This is Sergio Perez and Nico Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg goes right across Perez there. Somehow they don't make contact, but somehow Perez says, thank you very much. I'll take that, and I'll take that position very nicely indeed. So Sergio Perez making his way through the field. And down the inside, he managed to go at the loop. Perfect example of how two cars can't really go wheel to wheel, and as a result, Hulkenberg gets some damage on his front wing.
remember what happens to floppy Haas front wing end fences.
They fall off like that.
And went for a journey all of its own.
So Nico Hulkenberg minus a really crucial part of his front wing. You can see it right there. And he's coming to the pits, I would imagine, for a brand new one.
So the little pressure tap-ins they have and capillary tubes you can see floating around there.
So out in front, the gap was 9/10 of a second between Verstappen and Norris at the end of lap 7.
Go on Google and search something out.
Yeah, point is fairly variable, but
It's an old airfield here, and the wind does unsettle the cars somewhat. Verstappen's feeling that here this afternoon. Behind Piastri, Charles Leclerc is battling with George Russell. And Russell on the soft tyres, and you'd imagine of the top 5, he'll be the one who will be pitting first. Sainz runs 6th. Lewis Hamilton now trying to catch it after getting past Fernando Alonso. Piastri still within DRS of Fernando Alonso. Alex Albon holding on just to the final points position with Lance Stroll right behind him and in DRS range 2. Esteban Ocon on the soft tyre runs 12th. Sergio Perez is up into 13th ahead of Yuki Tsunoda and Logan Sargent, Nick De Vries at 16, and Joe Brand-New, Valtteri Bottas, Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg, who has pitted in this race. Ted, down to you.
Such a shame for Nico Hulkenberg because his whole race was dependent on going long and then picks up the front wing damage and has to change his whole strategy. It's going to be uphill from here. Just looking down at Mercedes, when are they going to bring George Russell in? A lot of stretches, think that soft tyre can only do 10 laps before you need to change it. We're already on that bait, so George is just going to make it last as long as possible. Interesting radio message, that one from McLaren, wasn't it? Suggests that Piastri said that he was faster and wanted to be let through. But yeah, Lando is now the quicker McLaren and they're holding station.
And what's crucial here, though, is Lando Norris is now over a second behind Max Verstappen. He's lost that DRS advantage. So do McLaren think about swapping their drivers? We'll see how that plays out. And down towards the end of the Wellington Straight becomes Charles Leclerc ahead of George Russell. And to Sky Race Control for the first time this afternoon, Corinne Chan not come on in.
Yeah, thanks, Rocky. They've been telling the McLaren drivers to look out for rain on the outside of turn 7, Luffield. So that's where the rain's coming from. I believe it is on its way. They think in the next 2 or 3 laps. But yeah, watch out for it down the Luffield.
Which could be good news for George Russell, because that might be when he wants to get rid of those soft compound tyres. Zach Brown, the CEO of McLaren, is watching on for the pit wall. He's our special guest this afternoon at the British Grand Prix. Zach, you've led the British Grand Prix. It was a great start from Lando Norris, but how do you feel about running second and third at the moment?
Yeah, well, we're pace. We got good pace.
Excuse me.
For a handful of laps, and
I hate my curly hair so much.
So you decided to fly in formation and keep Piastri behind Norris. What's the tactic there?
Yeah, we just want to keep them together and see if they can help each other out. See after they get started pit stops. We told Oscar if he felt he had a little bit more in him to let us know, but he seems to be content. So just good teamwork at the moment.
The thing that must be pleasing you, though, is that you are pulling away from the rest of the pack. There's now about a 2.5 second gap between yourself and Charles Leclerc, which before the upgrades came around, you wouldn't have been imagining in your wildest dreams.
3.413, but who's counting?
You are, Zach, and smiling, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, no, team's doing a great job. We have some good pace today, but a long way to go.
Thanks ever so much. We'll be back with you in a moment as Esteban Ocon, I think, is retiring from this race. And that is a very disappointing British Grand Prix for Esteban Ocon. Wasn't running in the points, and he looks like he's out. This is Lewis Hamilton behind Fernando Alonso at the moment that he got
I
past
thought that
Fernando
was
Alonso
Lance Stroll.
on lap 7 of the race. We can see it from off-board as well, and that's in front of the clubhouse, the British Racing Drivers Club. I'm sure the members of which Lewis Hamilton is very much a member of the BRDC, and will be very pleased with that. So lap 10, and Lando Norris is still keeping that gap around about a second. between himself and Max Verstappen, and we can head down to 10.
Yeah, so just having a look at what the issue was with Esteban Ocon. I'm going to hear from the team very shortly. Team ready?
Okay, we're expecting some lightish rain in around 2 or 3 minutes. The last 3 or 4 minutes.
Awesome. Will that be enough for intermediates or wet tyres? We'll have to look. But yeah, Ocon was holding P12. Didn't look like he lost much time. But then when they saw, I believe they saw something on telemetry that wasn't going to last the race. So they called event and retired them. Although still some action down here as they look at that car, what exactly the issue is. I'll get back to you with news from Alpine when they tell me what it is.
I forgot I left my Google open. Yeah, I had too many tabs open right now.
Never ran the points. Esteban Ocon out of the British Grand Prix by the time he gets to lap 10. There's the weather radar. All the teams are looking at that at the moment. There is definitely a lot of rain around. Corinne Chandler, is any of your mates at Brackley texted you so far to say we're going to
You gotta be kidding me. I just hope no rain gets in the way, because I swear I do not want to waste my... Well, speaking of my limit, though, it's going to reset on July 13th, which is 2 days before my birthday.
He's got a car this weekend that just doesn't seem to be performing the way we've seen it other times this season.
So I don't have to worry.
If it's because McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari have improved their cars and then they leapfrogged Aston Martin, or whether Aston Martin have slightly gone the wrong way with some of their new parts and actually have had a small step backwards as well, because they really, they've been sort of nowhere. Really,
Okay, so one of these drivers finishes in dead last in 20th, so there are 19 cars left in the race.
And this is very much a chassis circuit in that respect. They've all pretty much got the same level of power these days. So, yeah, definitely some head scratching going on at Aston Martin.
Meanwhile, at Red Bull, they'll be cheering on Sergio Perez, who's slowly but surely making his way through the field and rather nicely up into 12th after starting 15th in the race. He's got Mark Stroll just ahead of him.
Yeah, we're tracking the rain, but it's going to miss us on the radar.
Are you sure it's not sweating at motorists? We need to get clarification on that.
I think you'll be fine.
I
don't know if I forgot whose radio it was, but it was green. Oh, I can say it, it's green. I'm just not really sure.
And obviously George on those soft compound tires would want to take them as far as any range. He wouldn't want to be making a stop early and then needing to come in for inters or something. But a couple of teams told me that even if it rains, they only expect it to be a small amount and just have to stay out on slips anyway. But that's when it gets pretty sketchy as a driver in these nice performances. So you really want to go through
that means out of the race for sure. So I can say,
did not fight that for 1 single second.
But don't worry, my limit will reset. And what day is it? The 9th. So it's 3 or 4 days. I can't speak to it. I don't know why I keep messing up.
Safety car comes out, expect a lot of people to pit because you save so much time pitting behind the safety car.
Yeah, I'm pretty stupid, so.
The factory on tyre temperature and then the tyre wear.
No.
And because the driver has an incredible feel for it, but racing tyres are voodoo. They always have been and they always will be. And that's why the drivers are like, I'll give it a try, rather than going.
Okay, so we're in green.
Get these tyres through once.
The last information was red. I'm sorry, I forgot to change the color.
He was struggling to remember what plan A was in the course of this race. He was just searching for that information. I think what he and Oscar Piastri are doing currently, though, is just managing their tyres nicely and maintaining that gap to Charles Leclerc, who's not really making an impression in terms of gaining on the top 3. He's just got George Russell right behind him on a soft tyre that he's trying to defend against. Carlos Sainz is lapping pretty much the same times as George Russell. Lewis Hamilton isn't really gaining much on Sainz either. And Fernando Alonso has got his hands full with Pierre Gasly right behind him.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex is sort of was in the late 1 minute 33s, has got into the low 1 minute 33s now, which you need to be because the front runners are now into the 1 minute 32s as the fuel load goes down. Karoon. Yeah, just keep an eye on Lewis Hamilton, guys. Mercedes have told him that the soft tyre of George's car is hanging on better than expected, and they've told him to start pushing hard on the medium. So keep an eye on his lap time to see if he creeps up on the Carlos Sainz.
Maybe that medium soft could be the way to go there. Pirelli predicting that using two softs and a medium might be the best way to run this race. We're on board with George Russell. The car you can see in front of him is Charles Leclerc, who was the last Ferrari driver to win a Grand Prix a year ago tomorrow. It was the Austrian Grand Prix, of course. His teammate Carlos Sainz won from pole here last year, currently running 4th and 6th, Leclerc and Sainz.
George had to scoop the Mercedes up there at about 180 miles an hour in the middle of Cox Corner. We had a nice little wiggle onto the hanger straight. Get some slipstream. He's got the DRS open. He's not exactly cruising up to the gearbox of that Ferrari Charles Leclerc.
He certainly isn't. As we look once again to see Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly having a little scrap for 8th place currently. Back to George Russell again. This is that little scoop he was talking about, Martin.
Yeah. And I would imagine they'll be mentioning that in terms of track limits, but you're allowed to do that 3 times, then you get a warning, and then you'll get a penalty.
I wonder if Toto Wolff and Pep Guardiola, when they're having conversations, talk about how many titles they won between over the course of the years. It's proper sporting bragging rights for the pair of them, isn't it?
I don't think anybody's ever looked at me the same way Pep Guardiola did on the grid when I approached him. He looked at me like, what do you want? It looks so suspicious.
Not like supermodels that wish to talk to you. I was looking at you, I really do. But Tsunoda's in the pit lane. Tsunoda towards the rear of this field where sadly Harry have been running for a lot of this season.
So Charles is
the report coming in on the state
4th
of the
still.
weather.
Not even
Not going to be enough to
surprised.
send anyone scampering for intermediate tyres.
I don't know what Dutch is for light drizzle, but I imagine it sounds much more aggressive than our English version.
But he's got a nice cushion out in front now as Max Verstappen. 3 seconds the advantage over Lando Norris. That previous lap was about 0.6 of a second faster than the McLaren. Pierre Gasly has DRS. He is desperately trying to get past Fernando Alonso, but the Alpine hasn't got the speed against the Aston Martin down the straights, even with DRS.
And that meant 2 track indiscretions in 2 consecutive laps, so at least be careful of that. One more and he'll be getting a warning, and another one after that and he'll be getting a 5-second penalty.
It's not quite Austria spec in terms of lap times getting deleted, but there are a fair few drivers that are running wide, most of them at turn 15. And if you know you turn 15 here at Silverstone, that is Stowe Corner, and also at turn 9, Cox Corner. George Russell, the latest to go over the white lines too, as we can head down to 10.
Oh, don't mention track limits, Crofty. Not again. Can't take it after Austria. Right. What's going on at McLaren? Well, they are doing the tyre management thing you spoke about brilliantly. They haven't been so great on tyre degradation of the races we've had so far this year. They know that. They know it's something they need to sort out for the future, but they are doing a great job to keep space between them and Charles Leclerc. And if anything, that gap between Piastri and Charles Leclerc is growing. So I don't know what's happening at Ferrari. Russell's still out on the soft tyre. But yeah, just to cover up what you're saying about how much time you need to do to make a pit stop, it's 21 seconds without a safety car. But because of the track layout, if there is a safety car or a virtual safety car, it only costs you 9 seconds of lap time. So that's why maybe some of them are waiting. Maybe someone like George is waiting to see if there's an off somewhere and he can make a cheap pit stop.
George is getting a lot closer once again to Charles Leclerc. He's coming back for a second attack here. And Leclerc's going to have to just watch out a touch as we head down towards the Hamilton Straights, named of course in honour of the 8-time winner of the British Grand Prix, and through into Abbey. Ferrari ahead of Mercedes. There's another long straight with DRS for George Russell to try and blast past that Ferrari in a few moments' time. Ferrari, the team with the most wins at the British Grand Prix, 15 in total. Russell starting to catch Leclerc and his race of loss. What about Sergio Perez? Seems to me like he is up and making moves behind Alonso and Gasly. And that's the move on Alex Albon that has taken Sergio Perez now into the points. George Russell still trying to get past Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, he's pretty static there, isn't he? So, yeah, Perez very quickly dispatched Alex Albon, as you say, to get himself up into the top 10. So he's 18.8 seconds off the lead, almost a pit stop here. Sergio Perez, 20.8. 20.8. He is a pit stop off the lead, isn't he? With what they call the field spread as you make your way through. So what would work for Perez today would be a bit of a sprinkle of rain, something to destabilise the race.
But Ferrari, Mercedes, very much thinking Sergio Perez is a big threat and a possible podium contender come the end of this race. We're only on lap 18. We are from Max Verstappen, who's just started lap 18, out of 52. Threat of rain in the air, bright sunshine in other parts of the track. Max Verstappen leading the race and aiming for a 6th consecutive race victory.
18 laps completed.
Oscar Piastri running 2nd and 3rd for a McLaren
At
team.
least it's not 70 something lap. So, you know what I mean, right? It's not, yeah. That'll be pain. I'm talking about real pain. And Lando Norris still can. Is that me? Or do I see dark clouds?
Very closely. And they've been told to hold station, otherwise we just burn the tyres out, riding around in the turn, and they'll still be getting a dose of that anyway, even at 1.7 behind.
And we are thinking of plan B. What was plan B? I think so. Yeah, you know.
So it's not just Lando Norris, it sounds a little unsure as to what the plans are here. Plan B, who one would imagine, is the two-stopper there. Get Carlos Sainz into some three-day.
Yeah, it would be possibly a one-stopper with different tyre combinations, or a two-stopper with different tyre combinations. I can understand they feel a bit busy. I don't know how many plans they have, but we think it would be X. It's odd, isn't it? Because they put the maps of the circuit on the cockpit.
Yeah, box is the call at Ferrari for Charles Leclerc. So maybe they're trying something a little bit different with Charles Leclerc, who comes into the pits now, and is this Leclerc committing to a two-stop strategy? Through goes Russell, Sainz and Hamilton, through Abbey, as Leclerc finally gets to his pit box. He's able to stop in his marks. His crew yet to work. It's the hard tire that goes on. So that's keeping their options very much open with a hard tire that could go very long into this race. He has lost place. He comes out behind Lance Stroll.
Because if there's a late safety car, they will unquestionably want to put some soft tyres on towards the end for the end of the race.
Kieran Chandler, let's head to you.
They've told Lando Norris 100% pace, guys. Keep an eye, he might be coming at sometime soon. His reply was, I'm pretty much am at 100% pace already, so he doesn't have much more reserve. Lewis Hamilton's been struggling to charge up his battery pack, by the way. Been asking for a bit of information and support. Carlos Sainz and George Russell on that soft tire both saying tyres are good, they can go longer.
That's hoping
How
for
Fernando
you.
Alonso's tyres?
I want to be an F1 driver in the future. If I decide to live in Brazil.
That little bit harder against Pierre Gasly, and it's taking him to a territory he doesn't want to go. Either way, Gasly's catching him.
So Ferrari then, with that early stop for Charles Leclerc, will put pressure on McLaren now, in terms of are they going to respond or not?
I guess this is stick to our strategy.
Yes. Very good set for the folks.
Max Verstappen at the start of the round just wants to
How
make
is
sure
Charles
like
Leclerc in
with the
12th
Ferrari,
place?
with his race even before Charles Leclerc is.
No, but interestingly, I mean, the Ferrari's way behind him, so he would have seen that on a big screen, for a fan screen somewhere, that they were coming in the pit lane.
Did you have those fan screens everywhere around the track when you were racing, or back when Brad Pitt said you should be joining in on the grid for a cameo?
We had some. I think we were just so busy trying not to crash with the old junkers we had back then. These guys are altogether more trustworthy.
I just wondered if you had the spare capacity to be watching TV whilst you were actually driving and racing. Fernando Alonso congratulating his teammate Miami for an overtake that he saw on one of the big screens at turn 11, I think it was in Miami, when Lance was going through turn 1.
Verstappen radio in so you could hear on somebody's headphones. Helmut Marko's phone ringing, ringtone or something for the practice session. That was quite astute.
It's quite. Here's a little prediction for you. If George Russell pits now, will come out behind Charles Leclerc.
How many laps can we do at this pace? I'm happy. It's consistent. Why can't we change this for now? Understood.
It's a fair question, but a tough one to answer for the driver.
There's a couple of tests behind Max Verstappen. He's a lap bit faster than his teammate currently. Does George Russell need to pit now? How angry do those soft compound tyres look?
And Verstappen's just pulled the pin, hasn't he? He's getting on with it with a 32.295 fastest lap of the race. So Max really deciding he ought to just check out of there a little bit further and build some options.
Yeah, just preserve his lead and guard against a possible undercut from Lando Norris and McLaren behind him. The undercut where you stop ahead of the car that's ahead of you and you use your fresh tyres to bang in a really good lap so that by the time your rival comes into the pits, it can do little or nothing about it to stop you taking the lead. That undercut works. Depending on what tyre you're going onto here, the hard compound tyre can struggle a bit with warm-up. If you're going onto the mediums, I think it's a good undercut race. The soft compound, it's a good undercut race. But the hard, not so much.
Yeah, interestingly,
I can't read.
McLaren have got the legs on Mercedes and Ferrari in this phase of the Grand Prix. Ted.
Oh, well, that's exactly what they're trying to figure out on the pit wall. They already had 3 seconds to Leclerc, didn't they? Piastri was ahead 3 seconds. They're using all of that gap to try and see if they need to reply. We need to respond to Ferrari.
I wonder how Charles is.
Seeing the old mechanic in papaya orange down at McLaren.
There's Carlos Sainz at the.
They're not responding to Ferrari's pit stop.
Never mind. He's in fifth. I see.
Charles Leclerc 132.8 for the last lap on the hard compound tyre. Give it a couple more laps, we'll see how that warm-up phase has affected his lap times and how much quicker he's going.
Yeah, but that makes him slower, slightly slower than the two McLarens, and he's going to encounter some traffic, isn't he, in the shape of Lance Stroll and Alex Albon pretty quickly.
Yeah, the hope is, I think, for Ferrari, that by the time he gets to the second behind Stroll, they have to pit Stroll, and if it starts to move up the field a little bit. But you're right, that lap time, and another one, he's just crossed the line now, 132.8. That might be his best lap of this race, but he's 4 tenths behind Lance Stroll on that last particular lap. Out in front, the gap nearly 5 seconds now between Verstappen and Norris. It's over 5 seconds. And Piastri running a solid, sensible, super little race in third place currently, around about 2.5 seconds behind his teammate Lando Norris. George Russell running in 4th place and taking those soft compound tyres, I'm sure, to a place where they didn't really want to be going, and losing a little bit of performance whilst he tries to pound around and keep the lap times comparable to Piastri out in front. Sainz currently running in 5th, getting a bit detached. Lewis Hamilton gaining a little bit on Carlos Sainz, half a second on the last lap.
That's
Fernando Alonso still holding on Pierre Gasly. Gasly was catching by a few hundredths a lap, but he's dropped back a touch now.
It feels at the moment
Leclerc needs to catch up.
To do a 132 with a fast car and a 133 with a midfield car, whatever they've got on.
If George Russell pits right now, he comes out ahead of Charles Leclerc. Not the undercut, the overcut for George Russell. That's the warm-up issues on the hard tyre that Charles Leclerc is currently struggling with. So if Mercedes wanted to get George Russell a little place in the race without having to make an overtake, now could be a good time to do it.
Great camera angle. This is the view you get as a driver. Luckily, your eyes and your brain are brilliant at smoothing some of those bumps out. The incredible, control that we have like that. But fundamentally, that is what you see looking through your visor.
Lewis Hamilton making his way past Brooklands once more. It's bit by bit closing in on Carlos Sainz through the first sector, just a few hundredths in their respective times. As past the technology college and the grandstands towards Cox, they come once more. Hamilton's getting a good sight of the rear of this Ferrari.
Okay, so
He hopes to be chipping away a little bit more at Sykes' advantage. Different race for Carlos Sykes at the moment than it was last year. Winning, of course, here from pole to pick up his maiden win in Formula One. And there is the way that Lewis Hamilton has just been chipping away at his last.
this is safe.
So on this particular occasion, he's not
I see rain in that area. I can see dark clouds too. So I'm guessing turn 1 did the start finish line. Is that correct? Maybe. I don't know. Let me
As for Gasly, he's being toyed with by Fernando Alonso. Alonso is just holding him up. The gap's never gone. Gasly's always been in DRS range. So he can't get past Fernando Alonso. Alonso
I was blowing my nose.
can't
Sorry.
run the field himself, but is keeping the Alpine that seems to be a quicker car behind him at the moment.
Yeah, it's around about 0.6 of a second. Yeah, did get down to 0.4, did get up to 7 of a
I'm joining a
tenth.
conversation,
It's a long time.
but nothing is going to
Well, you know, we know how Fernando will play the long game with the confidence to do that. I mean, he's the pit stop off the lead. You know, should there be a safety car or what have you, then that will disappear, that disadvantage that he's got. So, Fernando, I would say Ted's right. Fernando is playing the longer game there, and he'll push harder when he needs to.
I had
Some sort of zombie car that he's driving here, and then rising back from its struggles and from the dead to put a bit more distance between himself and Gasly every time the Alpine just gets that little bit too close. Karun Chandler, let's head to you.
Brandon Norris saying the time are starting to drop
Is it
off.
gonna do?
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
In contrast, there's a lot of conversation between Jose Manuel Lopez, the race engineer on the Norris side, Oscar Piastri. Honestly, I haven't heard a word from him so far. Tom Stella gives me a bit of coaching. Just silence, just soaking it all in on the other side. The concern everybody will have, I think, is, Leclerc.
Okay, how many laps can we do with this pace? How many laps can we do?
I think it's consistent, but it's not changing, it's always consistent.
Yeah. The concern I think they'll all have is watching Charles Leclerc with a brand new set of hard compound tyres. He's not exactly flying along, is he? It's just sort of solid, really. He came out in 12th and he's still there. But albeit catching Lance Stroll pretty quickly, but it does look as if the hard compound tyre with a track temperature of 31 degrees is not exactly firing up that well.
No, it's not, and that was the fear today. There is Charles Leclerc, and as you can see, that much closer to Lance Stroll. His last lap time was 1:32.7, so it's now starting to perform a little bit better. But Hamilton, Sainz, Norris, all 1:32.7s on the last lap, and they're on much older tyres, the medium tyres that they've used right from the start. The thing is, for Charles Leclerc, he has to try and get past Lance Stroll here. Full position, no blue flags on this one. And while Stroll isn't the quickest car today, you can make life just a little bit difficult for the Ferrari driver. Let's see how difficult as we exit Chapel and onto the Hangar Straits. See those dark clouds that are missing this particular circuit, missing Silverstone. That's good news for us all, and that's good news for Charles Leclerc too. He's up into 11th place now. The Aston Martin didn't hold him up. To be fair, Lance Stroll isn't really fighting anyone coming out at speed into Stoke Corner because he realises he just can't.
And once again, the Aston Martin there was charging his battery up right at the end of the straight. About the 2026 engine. We don't want to see a lot more of that going on in 2026 onwards, but it's a good job the red lights are flashing, otherwise it looks like the driver's just yielded and given up, but they've got to charge the battery at some point.
Yes, talking of going back to fuel burning in qualifying, which wasn't exactly the most spectacular thing we've ever done in Formula One when we had that back in 2007, with the sustainable fuels rather than some unleaded in the tank. When that happens in 2026.
Yeah, we'll worry about that when that indeed does happen, as you say, but Alonso still with Gasly very much in his mirrors. Perez, yeah, solid 9. I think that car would coast quite quickly up to the back of the Alpine of Gasly, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but only a tenth of a second faster than Pierre Gasly on the previous lap. Drew Chandok, whose radio are you listening to at the moment?
George Russell, they were telling about the captain, Charles Leclerc's pace. He says, don't care about Leclerc. Tell me about McLaren. I want to look forward, not behind.
Interesting. Into the pits comes Carlos Sainz. He's had enough of those tyres. 27 laps gone. I'm sure there's a shiny set of hard compound tyres waiting for the Ferrari driver as he pulls into his pit box.
Russell and Hamilton have got any speed in their pocket. Now is the time to deliver it.
Yeah, they've both come through, as have Alonso, Gasly, Perez, Albon, Leclerc, and Stroll as Carlos Sainz comes back out into the race. Down in 12th place, so one Ferrari has to get past the Aston Martin and Lance Stroll. The other Ferrari is going to have to do the same as well. And they were calculated, looking at the data with Charles Leclerc, just how long it takes to warm up these hard compound tyres in track conditions that are around about 10 degrees cooler than we saw on Friday afternoon during the second practice session when they would have been trying out some of these race simulations.
Yeah, been a lot of wet practice there, haven't there? So information is a little bit scant. Somebody like Charles Leclerc, because he missed 3 practice 2, he's got an extra set of brand new medium compound tyres. So if he does want to have a 2-stopper with plenty of grip at the end of the race.
How are hard times looking on others? It doesn't look amazing. It's our best option.
So lots of chatter between race engineer and drivers currently, a lot of tyre management going on. Certainly with these cooler track conditions and the cloud cover here today, playing right into McLaren's hands. It's a car that really lights up its tyres, gets heated to its tyres rather easily. So on hotter conditions, they can overcook a little bit and they can start to grain up and lose pace. But I think a cooler, cloudier day here at Silverstone is very much helping them, and Norris and Piastri delivering currently and running second and third after leading early on in the race. Verstappen currently out in front. And we're on lap 28 of 52. We welcome our viewers on Sky Sports main events who've been enjoying the test cricket at Headingley. Totally different kind of driving here. We're not driving through the covers. We are driving with Lewis Hamilton down the old pit straight into Cops Corner here, which is one of the best corners to watch a Formula One car. I'm sure lots of people getting some great photo opportunities of Hamilton through Cops, not leading this race currently up into the top 5 with both Ferraris pitting earlier than their counterparts. Leclerc currently running in 10th place. Sainz, who's just pitted, currently running down in 12th. Lando Norris led the early part of this race before Max Verstappen, who was on pole, managed to get past McLaren, and he's put 8 seconds between himself and his good friend. Currently, George Russell about to come into the pits. Not
Box and stop. Yeah, that's derived from pits. Let's go into pits. And there he is. It's a Prix pit lane, second longest on the calendar, but you miss out 4 corners by using it. So that's the one that negates the pain. And gets a little bit hard into his pit box, a little bit beyond the mark. But the reason why is he wants to get ahead of Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, now Leclerc was stationary for 2.4 seconds, Russell for 3.9 seconds. Leclerc pitted before Russell a couple of laps ago. Russell could have pitted and got out ahead of Charles Leclerc. This time around, though, they might have left it a bit too long. Russell comes out behind Charles Leclerc and only just in front of Lance Stroll. That was a
I know you
it's cost George Russell the chance to leapfrog the Ferrari and Leclerc in the pit stops. You mentioned Piastri coming into the pits as well, potentially. But also we got Perez coming into the pits for the moment. He started in 15th and made his way up into the points places before he decided to come in for what should be his one and only pit stop in this race.
Yeah, we certainly saw George getting a little bit hot with a lock-up into the pit box. It tends to scatter the people, but maybe there was another issue as well. We didn't really see it, but this has now certainly triggered some action in the pit lane.
Yeah, that's disappointment for Mercedes there. They tried the overcut with George Russell, despite him running the soft tyres early on. That overcut has not worked out. And Russell in 9th, Leclerc in 8th currently after their pit stops. Now, Oscar Piastri, the first rookie to start in the top 3.
Piastri is now in the pits.
In 2017. has been running superbly well. Does he stop right on his marks on the crew get to work, and normally if it's a rapid pit stop as this one is, you could bet upon $1 that Oscar Piastri did stop on his mark. So Alonso goes through.
At least the halos now exist in F1 nowadays.
Needs work from both rookie and crew.
And starting with the soft tyres, of course, that's enabled George Russell to go to the mediums rather than the hards. You've got to use 2 to 3 compounds in a dry race. And that could be quite handy for George, given that the hard tyres.
Which is actually a good thing.
They are looking good, or starting
Just
to,
so you
this
won't
car,
get crushed to
Ferrari,
death.
and Carlos Sainz, he's starting to find a lot of pace. Last past the Aston Martin of Lance Stroll, and back up into the points once more. Carlos
So
Sainz running
that's
10,
why it's
and with an extra
safer.
point currently because he set the fastest lap of this race. It's taken him once again 2 or 3 laps to really get some temperature into those hard compound tyres. But now he's done so, he's starting to fly. And this is the pit stop, the slow stop for George Russell. And the lockup that you mentioned, Martin.
I think it was that though. It was the right front was a bit late on arrival, wasn't it? George had to make quite a big swing around the next door pit as well. But I think he was pretty much just stopped on his marks there. But the right front was a bit tardy.
So Lewis Hamilton pits now because of the pace.
I'm still thinking about something. I just keep creating what was going to be. I'll think about it later, honestly.
Just moves further back a little bit. So Ferrari seems to have Mercedes nicely covered as it stands, with George Russell on those medium tyres, as you mentioned, Martin. How will that be a factor in the closing stages? One thing pointing out, 2.4 seconds for McLaren, really useful that to get him out and keep him ahead of Alex Albon. It was crucial, I think, for his race that he cleared the Williams in that pit stop.
And as the Williams
So we're 51 minutes into the stream.
So they're going to have to respond with Lando Norris, I would thought, pretty quickly. After those stops.
Here comes George Russell, and he's trying to make a move around the outside into Brooklyn. Charles Leclerc's having none of it, but George Russell now around Lovefield got the outside right.
Oh my god. Oh man.
And gets a big round of applause to giving the home fans some home overtaking. But Charles Leclerc will want to come back in and out, and into Cops we go. Just getting a bit unsettled by the Mercedes.
Look how cute Charles is. He's so adorable. I could just adore him so bad. I love Charles.
Beautiful driving.
Meanwhile, here comes Oscar Piastri on Pierre Gasly into Stowe we go. And Piastri says, thank you very much. I'll take 5th place as I continue my charge. Back up again to the top 3, and Gasly's hanging up for those tyres. There's a pit stop coming for him right now. Verstappen leads by about 9.5 seconds from Lando Norris. Neither of those two have pitted. Lewis Hamilton now up to 3rd.
Okay, so Gasly is in the pits. So is Lance Stroll, my old driver.
As Gasly comes in for his pit stop, will McLaren swap the drivers round, or they decide that they've given a preferential strategy to one over
Lance
the other?
Stroll was my old driver last year. And I was Leclerc. He's the cutest. He's more cuter than Lance Stroll, in my opinion.
Let me know if it shakes out properly.
I only go after the cute driver. If it's the cutest driver, yeah, then it's my favorite driver. If it's not close, then no. But I can always pick them. It's for a win, for a race. But since, like for an example, since like Michael McDowell and Denny Hamlin, they're both cute. I like them. And those two are my drivers.
It should be right at the start of the Wellington Straits, and we have fire.
Engine died.
And an engine that has gone kaput, and a virtual safety car. So there's fuel to be neutralised, but not closing up together.
Dream pit stop then, isn't this for Verstappen, Norris and Hamilton.
But Hamilton wasn't in a position to pit. He's just gone past the pit lane entrance, as had Fernando Alonso. Diving into the pits, Alex Albon. Right place, right time for Alex Albon. Coming into the pits again, Charles Leclerc. And I think there's a set of soft tyres waiting for him. Sergio Perez has just pitted. He carries on. George Russell moves on. And they're telling Lando Norris to box the medium
No,
tyre
you
going
gotta
on
be.
for Charles Leclerc.
You gotta.
Norris, right round the other side of the circuit. It'll be a while though before they clear that car away.
Are we seriously under the yellow flag?
Of Charles Leclerc.
Fine.
Sergio Perez goes through and is ahead of Alex Albon. But in the pit stop there, Leclerc came in and couldn't get out.
What?
Alex Albon.
And the reason you're bolting out in and out of the pits like that between the two safety car lines, you've got a different delta.
Oh
to
my
the pit stop. That's why you see
Don't tell me that the driver's out of the race.
to keep to the delta of the virtual safety car, to keep within the limits, should I say.
So the excellent marshals are clearing away the stricken hats of Kevin Magnussen. Meanwhile, the excellent pit crews are getting to work in the pit lane and they're waiting for Max Verstappen to come in and for Lando Norris.
and
and Nico Hulkenberg too. And the proper safety car has now been deployed.
Mechanism
Now this
of whatever his last name. Can't pronounce it right.
And Lando Norris, Lewis Hamilton, you'd imagine, be coming in too.
I didn't see what happened.
So we had lots of people in. What's that tyre? I can't see it. It's just gone straight. Soft tyre. It's soft tyre for pretty much everybody. Even the Alpha Tauris have come in and put the soft tyre on. Lando Norris pits. Is it going to be the medium as we thought, or are McLaren going to go for the soft? We've also
got it's hard they're putting on it. They've got to go hard or soft.
It's got to be the soft, surely. Well, we'll see. Okay. Here comes Lewis. We've had Albon in. We've had Leclerc, Valtteri Bottas, Tsunoda, Nick de Vries, Hulkenberg as well. Those last three went to the soft tyre. Here's the Aston Martin of Fernando Alonso in front of me now as well.
Okay, so Verstappen continues to lead from Lando Norris and Lewis Hamilton now up into third place. He's going to get out ahead of Oscar Piastri. There goes Piastri. Hamilton is now ahead of Oscar Piastri, hitting under the safety car proper. Has got Lewis Hamilton into the top three.
And he's on soft tyres. Both McLarens now on the new hard compound tyres. They'll be used soft tyres for Lewis Hamilton. Same for Max Verstappen. So completely different ends of the scale of tyre that's available to them. You can see signs there on the hard.
The positions of the tire very quickly. Three positions, loading, three positions. To who on the tire sector.
Steven.
60 racing lap also.
Oh.
And on point the breakouts. Your call. Up to you. Stay out.
So they've told Sainz to stay out. They don't want him to drop any more positions. But if you are a wise, clever man with many years more experience in Formula One than myself, why have they put Lando Norris on the hard compound tyre that takes 2 or 3 laps to warm up properly when they know there's a safety car restart coming in a few moments?
So now the driver was just in the
They want to put
pits.
brand new tyres on. I would guess. They've obviously not recognised so much that the
Oh no.
is a problem. And we saw signs flying along nicely on hard compound. Why don't we ask Zach Brown on the pit wall? Why the hard compound tyres, Zach?
It's a close call. We were debating it quite a bit, so we'll see how it plays out. But we did want some fresh tires on the car. We'll see. We'll find out here shortly if that was
And
right
he's
decision.
on
You've got
fire.
Piastri on the hard compound tyre too. Aston Martin brought Alonso in. He's now ahead of Oscar Piastri. That safety car didn't work out for
It's
Oscar.
Kevin
It's Nick
Magnussen.
Lando where he is, but they're going to be coming at you thick and fast to this restart, Zach, I think.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting sprint to the finish.
I think you could be right. Who these proper sprint races when we can have a sprint at Silverstone as part of the Grand Prix, eh?
Exactly.
Thanks ever so much, Zach. And we're seeing what happened to Kevin Magnussen, becoming the second retiree from this
Wait, he
Silverstone
jumped out of his
Prix,
car.
along with Esteban Ocon, who stopped earlier with a hydraulic issue. And that makes the only safety car free race at Silverstone in the last decade, the 2020 anniversary Grand Prix, won by Max Verstappen. We've got a safety car here today. Verstappen in the lead of what is the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone.
So we've got no runners that have been lapped. So that means that we don't have to wait for lapped runners to be let through. But they still
car ahead is Piastri. Ahead of him is Lewis. Yeah, he had stayed out, but he did just box.
Yeah, Russell losing to his teammate Lewis Hamilton. We're going to have a recovery vehicle on the track to go and recover that pass. I think we've got at least 2 or 3 laps passing to go.
Yeah, near the Prix field, it's not really an easy service road to get to. So they may just have to pick that up and literally carry it away.
So let's try and fill you in on the strategy here. We were running quite nicely. We had a few pit stops. Ferrari were trying to make their way with Leclerc and Sainz back up the field again. George Russell had come in for his pit stop, and then Kevin Magnussen's engine says, I'm going to add a bit of excitement to this race, and I'm going to let go down the Wellington straight. Verstappen kept the lead, Norris kept second place, Lewis Hamilton pitted behind the safety car. He just missed actually the chance to pit behind the virtual safety car, moved himself up into third place. Piastri, who was running third, now down to fourth. George Russell moving up into fifth, ahead of Fernando Alonso. But Carlos Sainz in seventh had already pitted for the hard compound tyre. Ferrari said stay out on the hard tyre, despite the fact that Perez and Albon were on the softs behind him, but they did change Charles Leclerc's tyres. He's running 10th on the medium, and it's a nervy day for the Piastri family. Great to see them here at Silverstone today. But in terms of tyres, Martin, soft for Verstappen, hard for Norris, soft for Hamilton, hard for Piastri, medium for Russell, soft for Alonso, hard for Carlos Sainz. Such a mixture with what might be about 14 laps to go by the time we get racing again.
Yeah, and it's not really far enough, is it, to say I need the endurance of the hard compound tyre, and there'll be a struggle to warm up. They will be under pressure on the restart from those behind them with medium or soft compound tyres.
So this was George Russell in his attempt to get past Charles Leclerc, who put the manners on him a little bit going into Brooklands, and then George said, well, you don't need to do that. I'm going to pass you going around Luffield anyway.
Nice job, Buffalo Girls.
The Buffalo Girls go round the outside. If you remember the song. Fortunately, for this moment, I do. Karim Chandler, when did George Russell hit on those soft compound tyres? He ran them right from the start.
Yeah, he did 28 laps on that first stint. And it's worth keeping in mind this the youth tyre that Martin mentioned for Verstappen and Hamilton. They've only done 3 laps before the race, and bringing them in gently now behind the safety car just will extend that life. So, even looking at it now, Crofty, they've only got to do 15 laps on low fuel on the rubber-in track. It should be easy.
Yes, you shouldn't have to look after them too much.
I think if McLaren could rewind, they'd put some soft tyres on that. I would imagine I don't know, but I bet we'll see how it pans out. The McLaren has just been playing fast anyway through the Grand Prix, so they've got that in their pockets. They've got a fast car, 2 fast drivers. But I can't help but think if they had their chances again, they might have gone with a soft tyre.
What tyres does the Mercedes have on? Hamilton behind you, have fitted you soft. Same number, lovely ahead of you. Yeah, wonderful, huh?
I don't think Lando is too impressed with the situation he's in at the moment. As the song says, Ted, rewind with the crowd saying no, select another tyre.
Very good. You got the idea up to Buffalo Girls, haven't you?
Yeah, good.
It's great days to catch up. Hello, if he's watching. Right. I mean, McLaren are predicated towards the harder tyre because they've had so many issues with tyre degradation in previous races, and because they knew that wasn't really going to be solved here instantly, and because this track is very hard on tyres. So I think really they were always going to think about going to the hard tyre. We'll see, but I just refer you back. Obviously, Lando's not happy about it. I refer you back to Lewis Hamilton's word as that's showing you, I believe, in the pits again. I think he had a brake issue. He's only just pitted under the safety, just before the safety car, but he was complaining about his brakes not feeling correct. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Lando clearly doesn't like it. I just remember what Lewis was saying before the race: attack, attack, attack. That was his motto, wasn't it? Looks like you two might be on for it. We'll see.
Wow. What a weekend that would be to have Lando Norris starting on the front row, Lewis Hamilton potentially finishing on the podium, along with maybe Lando Norris too. The race on behind Max Verstappen, but you know what, Martin? This could be the closest race finish we've had for some
There's
time.
a lot of racing to go yet with the different tyre strategies. And Alonso could be, we got Russell, as Russell warms those medium compound tyres up when they were new, when they went on. So we're going to see, I think you're going to see two of the widest McLarens ever known for a couple of laps until they get those tyres in the window. Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso, they're wise, aren't they? They're experienced, they know where their chances will be, and it'll be in the first few corners of the restart.
Yeah, well, the safety car very much playing into the hands of the likes of Fernando Alonso, who's going long in a car that hasn't been necessarily too competitive. But now on the soft tyre might have a tyre advantage. I can tell you that the Haas of Kevin Magnussen has been recovered now.
Get the safety car in this lap. It's a little bit late into the lap, but it's a shame.
Yeah,
It could go.
I don't think it is, sadly. So, well, one more lap behind the safety car. One less lap at full pelt for those soft tyres.
And we are still sport in the end. We took this.
Those hard tyres. He's going to have to watch out for Sergio Perez right behind him as well. This proper safety car has very much brought, I think, Sergio Perez into the equation. And a potential podium finish for him. Don't discount a podium for Perez. Charles Leclerc on the medium, more than capable of getting a podium here. Carlos Sainz might find the hard tyre, takes him out of the potential podium, and then any one of the top six could be there at the end.
Maybe some stage 4 as an engine mode setting for lots of power. Good job the safety car is not exposed to track limits penalties, because he's way off the road coming into the pit straight there.
He's driving though, giving it full beans for Lando, and will be coming in at the ends of this lap. So no more Bernd Mailander, we hope, between now and the checkered flag. We'll be able to get racing again very shortly. Two British drivers in the top three. You have to go back to 1999 for the last time two drivers from the UK were on the podium at the British Grand Prix. Eddie Irvine finished second. David Coulthard managed brilliantly to victory by Martin Brundle. Did you pass it like it was 1999?
Yes, it did. Yeah, 3 Brits in the top 5 for that matter.
George Russell currently sat in fifth. Safety car period has just served to heighten the sense of anticipation around Silverstone here. It's been an intriguing race with a few highs and a lot of tyre management, but now we're going to get a proper sprint to the end here. And Max Verstappen, as good as his pace is, Martin Brundle, he's going to have to watch from behind him a little bit here, I think.
I think he'll be pretty satisfied to know that the Maccas are on the compound tyre, but he'll back them up, which is not what McLaren need, really. And then I'm going to assume he won't really bolt until he can charge down into the final chicane and get on with it.
Safety car's gone. Track is now clear. Verstappen's gone too. Lando Norris might have been a touch slow to react, and Hamilton is right on him. Behind Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, no overtaking until they get to the line. And the crowd willing all drivers on here as they stream through that failed chicane. Round clock corner to start the next lap of proper racing. And there goes Max Verstappen, but watch Hamilton right behind Lando Norris. He is fired up. Those soft compound tyres. Hamilton's on the charge, right behind Piastri. George Russell on the charge too. In we go towards Village. He's just going to have to settle behind Lando Norris for the next couple of corners, and then hopefully Hamilton to pick up the slipstream. One defending, one charging.
No DRS for 2 laps after the safety car. Norris knows he's got to break the slipstream. Hamilton will have to go far right. Trying to go around the outside. Norris needs these corners critically to get his tyres up to temperature. Hamilton now trying around the outside of that field. He's squeezed to the outside. Critical driving there from Norris.
He tried once, he tried twice, it didn't quite happen, but Hamilton's picked up the toe once more. And we know that comes corner, you can get round, and he's going to try around the outside, but Norris defending absolutely brilliantly. Keeps Lewis Hamilton at bay. But for how much longer? Piastri has George Russell 0.4 seconds behind him. Fernando Alonso 6 ahead of Carlos Sainz. Perez right on Sainz's heel. Then comes Albon and Charles Leclerc completes the top 10.
That was the wide McLaren I was talking to you about, and now you can see with both McLaren they're beginning to get some confidence in their tyre temperatures.
They've just got that little bit more downforce than their running McLaren this weekend. That helps them through Magnus, Beckers and Chapel. That's why Hamilton's so desperate to try and get past before they got to Cops. But that was stellar defending from Lando Norris. Pierre Gasly trying to fend off Lance Stroll, didn't manage it. Stroll moves up into 11th place. And Verstappen has put 2 seconds between himself and Lando Norris on that first lap since the safety car restart.
No surprise, Norris was having to drive very defensively, especially into a corner like Cops. You lose so much time like that.
Now, Hamilton tried before down that Wellington straight to get past Lando Norris. The Mercedes has got that speed advantage. Once more, Norris dived to the left to try and break the toe. Hamilton goes with it, but he's just a little bit further back. Under braking, Hamilton closes in on Lando Norris and tries to find a gap down the inside. And here we go around Rockford and into Woodcote. They're almost wheel to wheel on the gas. Lando Norris edging just ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton will try and hold this one for as long as he can. Like they almost touch before they get into Cops. Hamilton has to yield.
Yeah, great driving from both of them. Norris was not going to leave the throttle alone around the outside of Cops. And he had the line. Hamilton's had a few experiences down there in the past.
Next lap, Lewis Hamilton will get DRS. Will get an extra 8 miles an hour of speed advantage. Well, it is a car that does light up its tyre as well. If anything's going to warm up the hard compound tyre quickly, it's going to be the McLaren. And so far, so good. Seems like a decent choice. But DRS is a coming. And whether that will help Hamilton and Russell in their pursuits of Norris and Piastri, we will wait to see. 2.5 seconds the gap out in front. Then comes Norris and Hamilton, and as you can see, DRS enabled.
Norris needs to really spot the braking point through the complex now onto the Wellington straight. That is where Hamilton seems faster. The short straight down to Brooklands and then through Luffield and the acceleration into Cops. The corner's coming up now. Norris needs to really ace the braking point here and sweep into that lovely late apex of Brooklands.
He's just got that extra 3 or 4 car lengths advantage this time around to keep Lewis Hamilton at bay as Lando Norris in a big DRS procession is moving its way down that Wellington straight. Meanwhile, Lance Stroll has been mooted by race control from leaving the track, gaining an advantage. Had he got this overtake done by the time he did? Gasly thinks the only reason he managed to get past was because he went over the white line and he might have a decent case there.
And Aston Martin need to tell him to give that place back straight away and then come back at him again.
Verstappen leads. Lando Norris second. Lewis Hamilton gaining on the DRS is currently third. Piastri holding off George Russell. Sergio Perez gaining on Carlos Sainz by a couple of tenths of a second on this current lap. They need to get these moves done quick if they're going to try and finish on the podium places, the likes of Sergio Perez. How much longer can Carlos Sainz continue to frustrate the Mexican driver who started 15th on the grid, made his way up into 8th in a car, same car that's leading the race with Verstappen?
So the story now, I think, is can Piastri get his first Formula One podium and come back at Hamilton on those tyres now that it's all settled down a bit for McLaren?
Well, meanwhile, Perez will fancy his chances, but Sainz should get DRS behind Fernando Alonso, and that will help him very much in his defence, which will be big frustration as the man running second in the championship. Verstappen not liking that soft compound tyre that he's on. And he was about a tenth of a second faster than Lando Norris on the previous lap. Close, but just watch how that McLaren, that little bit more downforce, they're running a bigger rear wing than the Mercedes, can handle Maggots and Beckett's and pull out a bit of an advantage over Lewis Hamilton, even with Hamilton on the faster soft compound tyre.
Yeah, it's looking handy though. He'll get DRS now, will Lewis Hamilton start honing in on the back of the McLaren. There it is. Won't be enough to overtake, but again, he's got to stay close enough in this critical section after the start line.
Verstappen said this tyre doesn't feel too good. He just set the fastest middle sector of the race. Maybe he's found the sweet spot rather than the flat spot. 10 laps to go, and his lead down in front, 3.2 seconds. It just feels to me that whilst the Mercedes might have more speed on the straights than the McLaren Martin, through the middle part of the lap, through the high-speed corners, the McLaren has got it absolutely sorted.
Yeah, we have to assume at some point those soft tyres on Mercedes will grain a little bit. The rubber will roll on the surface, and we'll see. Because, as we said earlier on, pretty much every tyre is working this afternoon, isn't it?
Stewards have decided no further action. Lance Stroll for leaving the track and gaining an advantage. I assume the feeling there is that Gasly didn't give him enough space. What they've done that, they've given Lance Stroll a black and white flag for track limits on board. He gets a 5-second penalty. Hamilton's coming back. And Lando Norris here. Through Cox they go, foot flat to the floor. And, well, just those few car lengths in it. The difference between Norris and Hamilton, 0.4 of a second as we go into Maggots and Beckett's. Just by a few hundredths in the first part of that complex, Norris eases ahead. Now, he's gained about 0.2 of a second advantage over Hamilton by the time they get onto the next straight. Such is that excellent downforce package on the upgraded McLaren, and such is Sergio Perez's frustration. Once more, he still can't get past Carlos Sainz.
The Sainz has got DRS from Alonso in front of him. Oh, here we go on the inside.
Well, down the inside then goes Sergio Perez at the Bell chicane. Carlos Sainz holds him up for the first part, but on the exit, through goes Perez, and right behind Carlos Sainz, Alex Albon fancies a bit of the action too. Albon into Abbey, and that's the Williams moving up into 8th place, and Sergio Perez makes his way into 7th, and now Charles Leclerc is coming at Carlos Sainz. Leclerc goes off the track. Sainz tries to battle it out, but has no chance of holding up his teammate on the medium compound tyre. So Sainz has just lost 3 places there in a matter of 4 or 5 corners.
Williams slices past Ferrari inside the top 10. Long time since we said that.
Like 1979, all over again. Ray Regazzoni winning here. First ever race win for Williams is celebrate 800 Grand Prix. And the next time out in Hungary has grabbed the outside there. Goes Pierre Gasly and gets Lance Stroll. And Gasly's now on the tail of Carlos Sainz. So when I say tail, I actually mean nearly wheel to wheel going through Cox. Sainz manages to hold on. This is terrific action for the lower points places. Leclerc's moved up to 9. Sainz is trying to hold on to 10. Gasly up to 11th, and ahead of those, Albon and Perez now charging up for Alonso.
Lando Norris has broken the DRS gap. He's 1.3 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Good work there, critical work there for Lando Norris to hang on to that second place.
So shall we just say well done for the McLaren strategy pick wall then. The hard compound tyre seemed to be very much the one to go on.
Well, it certainly worked for them, didn't it? And when they could cope with it. The car's just fast, and Norris really wants that second place.
Down towards Abbey we go. Leclerc, Sainz, Gasly, and behind him comes Stroll, and then Sargent right on the tail of Stroll, and Valtteri Bottas trying to get within DRS range of the other Williams too. Is Perez gaining on Alonso? Yes, he is. It's around about 4/10 on the previous lap. The gap now down to under a second. Alonso not lapping as fast as George Russell, about 6/10 slower on the previous lap, but is Russell lapping faster than Piastri? Not at the moment.
So Ferrari started 4th and 5th, and they managed to navigate.
There goes Gasly round the outside of left field. Carlos Sainz getting that sinking feeling of being on the wrong tyre at the wrong time. The hard compound tyre not working for him, but he switched to the inside of Cox. Tries to get back that place and does so. Holding on to 10th, the Ferrari struggling on the hard tyre, but Lando Norris, it seems Zach Brown, very much on the right tyre. Well done.
Well, we still have 7 laps to go, but yeah, that's a bit of a nail biter. I'm glad we broke the DRS, but let's see.
You got any nails left?
No, I didn't start with any this morning.
I'm not surprised. It's been a while since McLaren had a podium here. 2010 with Lewis Hamilton. What will it mean to the team to get a car on the podium today, Zach?
Well, let's not jinx it, but needless to say, it would be pretty special. But let's see. We got 6-7 laps to go.
Thanks ever so much indeed. As off the track goes Pierre Gasly and loses a couple of places now. Yeah, what has happened to Pierre Gasly's Alpine? Struggling to control it.
Actually, it was only broken suspension, isn't it? Puncture.
Can he find a place then if he can't loop his way back to the pits to pull off safely? And out of this race, it is a double DNF for Alpine here at Silverstone. 7 consecutive top 8 finishes at this track for the Enstone team, and both cars won't see the checkered flag today as Fernando Alonso now Sergio Perez for company.
Yeah, Perez got a chance to get Alonso for P6. He'll do well to catch Russell and Piastri after that, so that might be the best he can achieve today, but who knows what will happen in these last few laps. But Perez now with a great chance and a good run at Fernando Alonso. Alonso will not have the help of DRS from anybody in front of him.
This is important for both drivers here because they're slugging it out for second place in the championship. Of course, Perez 17 points clear of Fernando Alonso going into this race. Will dearly love to finish ahead and gets ahead into Stowe. Fernando Alonso wasn't going to fight that and waste valuable time in the race because he knew that Perez had the pace. Up into 6th place for the Red Bull and down to 7th for Alonso.
So I think Gasly's had a contact with Stroll, and that's probably why his rear suspension is trying to point in the wrong direction.
Race control, not many have noted it, but the stewards are going to investigate it. And here we are into the Vale chicane. Stroll goes off the track as he comes on, goes wheel to wheel, and you can see the right rear of Gasly pointing very much, as you say, at the wrong angle. How do you see this one, Martin?
So Gasly stays on the racetrack, Stroll doesn't, and then backs back on. So certainly not Gasly's fault.
Yeah, Stroll just had to back off and wait for him to go past because there was no room for Stroll to come back onto the track without doing that. Stewards will look at it later. 10 down to you.
Lewis has cooked his tyres, Crofty. In all that fighting earlier, Lewis cooked his tyres and has told that has radioed his pit wall that they have lost the grip. The reassuring message back from Peter Bonington, is that if you cool them down, the grip will return. So these soft tyres, they might last, but they're not beyond a bit of trickiness. They just have to treat them right, and then they will get to the end. But now Lewis just about starting to come back to Norris, but very, very slowly. It was 2 seconds, the gap Norris-Hamilton. Now, well, it was 1.9, now it's 2 again, isn't it, Crofty? Yeah. Gasly has made it back into the pits. That's him to retire for Alpine. What a shocking home race for Alpine.
Yeah, it really is. A highlight for Alpine today. Jeremy Clarkson coming down to see him as well. Maybe he'll take him back to the farm for a drink afterwards, because they might need a bit of cheer up after this race. Double DNF for them. Max Verstappen on his way to a 6th consecutive victory. Lando Norris on his way to equaling his best results in Formula One. Lewis Hamilton currently on his way to a 14th British Grand Prix podium.
And George Russell now with a warning flag for track limit. One more and he'll get a 5-second penalty, which right now we're putting behind Perez and Alonso. So best behaviour required from George Russell for the rest of this Grand Prix.
We've had a few black and white flags. No one has had a time penalty as it stands currently. And in the posh seats, the conversations continue on. Shakira here, I'm sure, willing on her friend Lewis Hamilton to a podium, a 14th potential podium at Silverstone. Is Oscar Piastri coming back at Lewis? Not quite, maybe by a couple of tenths in the middle sector on this lap.
And Norris is about to get a black and white. Indeed gets it now. Black and white driving standards flag. Last final warning for Lando Norris. He too, a 5-second penalty would put him behind Hamilton and Piastri. Keep it between the white lines, the pair of you.
He's certainly got enough of a cushion to be able to do that. He's certainly got a cushion in the driver of the day vote. Lando Norris getting a lot of popular votes today, and I'm not surprised. He has put up a brilliant race to be running second. This race is going to do wonders for that McLaren team and for the future. After a few years where they've been down the doldrums and trying to recover, coming back in their home race. And I'm not going to jinx it because the gods aren't listening, and neither is Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri. To try and take a podium for the first time since 2010 at Silverstone, it's going to be absolutely mega for them. Piastri gaining on Lewis Hamilton on that previous lap. No, Hamilton just staying ahead. He's picked up 4 places since the start of this race to move into the podium positions. Perez currently running in 6th, 9 places he's gained in this race. He's got past Fernando Alonso, as we saw. He's closing in on George Russell, but not quick enough to put Russell under pressure.
Now, Russell and Norris must. If you don't, the track limits are important. Otherwise, you can carry more speed for a corner. You're just cheating, basically. You're carrying more apex speed, you're running wider, and you're gaining an advantage, just like in any other line that defines a sporting arena, sporting pitch.
Alonso hasn't got DRS. Crucially, Alex Albon behind him has, and Charles Leclerc behind Alex Albon. 3 laps to go here. I dare say Fernando Alonso might feel these are the longest 3 laps of his Formula One life. And he's had quite a Formula One life too. He's going to have to try and defend here against the slippery and speedy Williams and a Ferrari that's flying behind it. And Lance Stroll, his teammate, has been given a 5-second penalty for causing a collision.
I think that's quite lenient, actually, because it took another driver out of the race. He launched back onto the track and came into the side of another car from off the track. So I think he's got away quite lightly there.
Tangled with Esteban Ocon in 1 Alpine during qualifying. That cost him the chance of a decent start for his final flying lap. He's tangled with Gasly, and it's cost him in the race. It's cost him a 5-second penalty. Another disappointing weekend for Alpine, and probably for Lance Stroll too. And for Fernando Alonso, how much longer can he fight off the Williams here of Alexander Albon? And with that, Charles Leclerc too. Out in front. 3.5 seconds, pretty much the gap between Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. Verstappen on his way to an 11th consecutive podium finish, and he tied for the 4th longest run in history. He's making a habit of podiums, he's making a habit of wins as well. We'll talk more about that in a couple of moments. We'll see into Stowe with Fernando Alonso, and he has held off Alex Albon. If he can I think, once again, to Maggots and Beckett's, the speed through there, the Aston Martin can keep the Williams at bay. Now 2 laps to go as Florence Pugh, I think, has a checkered flag in her hand and is waiting for her starring role at the British Grand Prix this season.
Good chat with her on the grid. I always do with these people who I hear are going to be on the grid, and I said to her, I would never have recognised you. She said, look at your short pink hair. Yeah, I'm changing my hairstyle the whole time.
Use a little badge, hi, I'm Florence, happy something like that. Down the straight we go. Down the Wellington straight we go. Alex Albon's got DRS. Charles Leclerc's got DRS. Fernando Alonso hasn't got DRS, but he has got the advantage. And the advantage is 7th place currently. And he is doing his damnedest to fight these 2 off. Albon's going to pick up a nice slipstream down the old start pretty straight here. And you can see how he's gaining a bit on the Aston Martin, but not gaining anywhere near enough speed to get Fernando Alonso into Cox Corner. So Alonso survives for just that little bit longer.
I mean, remember when Fernando was saying, I'm going to be on the podium for every race for the rest of it. He was so comfortable and confident in his Aston Martin, but here he is fighting over 7th and 8th with the much improved Williams and Alex Albon.
Teams say that there'll be a different story by the time they get to Hungary, different track. It might suit them a little bit more than Silverstone and Barcelona did. It's not been a good weekend at their home race. What a weekend, though, it has been for Red Bull and Verstappen, who starts his final lap. Ted, down to you.
I've got some great news for Lando Norris. Lando Norris fans. Lewis Hamilton chasing behind has said that his rear tyres have gone. He's been on the radio. I've got no rear left, he says to his Mercedes team.
Thanks ever so much, Ted. Out in front then, Max Verstappen in a race that should Red Bull win it, and they look like they are going to win it, will equal McLaren's record of 11 race wins in a row. The action's all taking place behind Max Verstappen. The action currently with Charles Leclerc. Alex Albon trying to defend. Leclerc pulls out, wants to go around the long way out of Brooklands, but now will switch to try and go the long way down at Lovefield. On another occasion, he can't get past the Williams, and this is helping Fernando Alonso stay out in front of as they battle towards Cox Corner. The race leader making his way out of Chapel and down the Hanger Straight for one last time. Verstappen who's won the 70th anniversary Grand Prix here at Silverstone, has never won the British Grand Prix, is 3 corners away from doing it. Leclerc trying to gain on Alex Albon on this final lap, but he's not managing it. And whilst we look at the Williams-Ferrari battle, Verstappen is making his way towards the final corner. It's Max Verstappen's weekend for a 6th consecutive time. He wins the Formula 1 Grand Prix for the first time. It's the British Grand Prix. And for Red Bull, with McLaren coming home in 2nd place for Lando Norris, it's 11 wins in a row to equal McLaren's all-time record. Norris back on the podium and his best result since he finished 2nd at Monza in 2021. What a brilliant weekend for them. Lewis Hamilton for a 14th time finishes on the podium at his home circuit. Oscar Piastri comes on 4th for his best results in Formula 1, and it's a top 5 for Russell, 6th for Perez. Alonso holds off Albon, Leclerc and Sainz. Bad day for Ferrari, excellent day for Red Bull, epic moment for McLaren.
Yeah, that's a trend. They've led the Grand Prix today, McLaren, and then a 2nd and a 4th. Piastri will be.
Very impressive, Max. Keep marching on. Well done.
Yeah, not bad. Not good. We had a good race. I think our last stint was a bit more difficult than I would have liked with these stars. But overall, good pace. Great job again, guys.
Well, mate, that's our first win here since 2012, and it matches a record of McLaren of 11 wins in a row. So, yeah, mega day to the team. Well done.
Yeah, great job. Great job, guys. 11 in a row. That's really crazy. Well done.
Yeah, Piastri, of course, got caught out, having just pitted when the virtual safety car, which turned into a full safety car, showed up on the scene, and it cost him dearly. Cost him a podium.
He led the race in the opening stages, started brilliantly. Lando Norris, he couldn't get the victory, but he's got driver of the day, and I'm not surprised.
45% of that.
P2, great job, man. Vamos, great job.
Hey, podium in my home race. Podium in our home race.
Yeah, man, fantastic. Podium on our home race. Well done, man. Great job. Great job.
And McLaren become the 6th constructor to finish on the podium this season. So more than half of the grid, and we're not even halfway through.
That's a big day for McLaren. They needed that. They very much needed that in the team.
Yeah, it's been a depressing few years, but there are signs of revival for McLaren and signs of much better days to come. For Mercedes too.
Nice work, Lewis. That's P3, mate. That's an awesome day, mate. Really great drive.
Yeah, thanks, man. No McLaren's the rookies yet. Hey, high speed isn't safe. Well done, guys. Good job with the pit stop strategy.
Lewis, great race. What a recovery yesterday.
I remember Lewis was off the road in turn 3 in the opening lap of the Grand Prix.
Not such a bad car today as it was last week.
It was a good recovery. And was he just missed it to the pit under the safety car? Initially, it was long enough for him still to get the benefit of that.
Yes, we're from the virtual safety car to the safety car proper. They were nowhere on Friday either. Mercedes here, but they put everything right. New front wing for this particular race. Lewis wasn't really talking it up on Thursday in the previews here, but it's done the job and it's extended his records for the most podiums in a single circuit here at Silverstone to 14. His teammate George Russell, by the way, points here at Silverstone for the first time in his career. And you say Lando Norris popular, that's the 2nd weekend in a row he's got that driver of the day vote. I mean, last weekend you were at home and I thought you were the one doing all the votes. I haven't seen you pick up your phone for the last hour and a half.
No. Well, you know why? Because Lando's just straightforward, honest lad, isn't he? He doesn't hide anything. You can read him so well. People like him. Wherever I go, whenever I meet fans at events, his name comes up very, very frequently.
Certainly does. In the record books, Lewis Hamilton's name comes up fairly frequently too. But he has never managed 6 consecutive victories in his career, which is something Max Verstappen did today. Alberto Ascari did it, Michael Schumacher did it twice, Sebastian Vettel and Hamilton's former teammate Nico Rosberg So Verstappen joins a fairly select club, and you wouldn't bet against him next time out making it 7 of the
Or indeed many more.
Put it this way, Max Verstappen has enough points in the Drivers' Championship to be leading the Constructors' Championship. Such has been his domination. And Lewis and Lando sharing a moment down in Park Ferme.
Yeah, that's 30 points for McLaren today. That moves them straight up into 5th place in the World Championship. A bit of size of relief in Woking.
So, yes. New livery. A special one-off livery for this race, and maybe some new times ahead. So they're shouting Lando. They are. There was a lot of papaya being sported even on Thursday when we did our show on the grid. Martin Brown like this, so they might sell a bit more.
The goodness is not like tangerine or satsuma or something, isn't it? It wouldn't have the same sort of ring to it.
I didn't even know what a papaya was until they changed their colour scheme. The place where they shout for Lewis and will be doing so, I'm sure. They're shouting for Lando today in the first ever podium in his home Grand Prix. The team that, well, didn't run in the top 5 this season until the Austrian Grand Prix. I think he's trying to take it all in and trying to take in the moment and realise exactly what's happened. For Lewis Hamilton, he knows what this moment's like. He's done it on 13 previous occasions. He's getting a very good look at the Red Bull and the McLaren and trying to find a few things that he might want to point out to the engineers when he gets back to the debrief. David Coulthard is down conducting the post-race interviews.
Max Verstappen, your second victory at the British Grand Prix. Little congratulations from your engineer there, GP. People are talking about the dominance of you this season, but that was far from easy to win that race.
Yeah, we had a terrible start, so we need to look into why that was. But even after that, I think, especially Lando, he was very, very well. Both McLarens at the beginning was super quick, so I took a few laps to pass them, and then at one point I could ease out the gap, and I think everything looked quite alright again. But then again, after the safety car on the softest compound around here, was a little bit more tricky for us to keep them alive, basically. So the gap basically stayed at around 3.5 seconds. So yeah, I think of course, very happy that we won again, and I mean 11 wins in a row for the team. I think that's pretty incredible. But it wasn't straightforward today.
We know how it finished. Take us back to the start, off the line. Seems like you got a little bit more wheel spin in your initial phase, and that allowed Lando to really just, come up your inside before turn 1.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing a bit of drifting on Thursday with marketing, and it felt like I was doing that also in the start, which wasn't very good there. It was just very, very bad. So we'll look into that, because I think the last few starts were actually a lot better, and today wasn't that great. But at least it made it a bit more exciting, to push for it. And I mean, Lando didn't really put up a fight. He was very nice to me. But then he actually came back again in the DRS, so he had a lot of pace today.
Well, if we've got Lando here, you guys are good buddies, so
he did very well today.
Well, there you go. Well, Max, congratulations on your victory. We're now going to go over to Lando. Great to see the friendship between you two guys. I suspect that will change if you keep performing like you have this weekend. You drove brilliantly, and you had to defend against the 7-time world champion whilst leading against a 2-time world champion.
Yeah, pretty insane. I just want to say a big thanks to the whole team. They've done an amazing job, and none of this would be possible without the hard work they've been putting in. So pretty amazing, pretty insane to put up with the fight. They put me on hard tires. Don't know why. They're still beginners in some things, but yeah, it was an amazing fight with Lewis. To hold him off, made a few too many mistakes maybe, but I did what I could. I brought the fight to Max for as long as possible. It's a long, lonely race when you're just in the middle, but it's amazing. So yeah,
we heard you calling for the soft tires. That looked like the majority of teams were going that route. So with a hard zone, it was very impressive what McLaren were able to deliver.
Yeah, I think they just wanted to give me a bit more of a test, I guess. So Zach said anyway. Probably Zach called the shots on that one. Yeah, I mean, I wanted the softs. I feel like it made a bit more sense, especially with the safety car coming out. But I don't care. I was like, I'm P2, so all good.
P2, and your first podium here at the British Grand Prix, and I think your seventh podium in your racing career.
Yeah, pretty amazing. I mean, the whole lineup, I was just trying to wave to everyone. So a big thanks to all the British fans out here supporting all of us. Also for McLaren. Honestly, we should have had a P2, P3. Oscar did an amazing job all weekend, and he should have been P3 today without the safety car. So I shame he deserved it. But yeah, the fans were amazing. So big thanks to all of them.
Lando, congratulations. Enjoy the podium. As you walk off, Lewis Hamilton, welcome to your 14th podium at the British Grand Prix. Lewis, you talk about the power of the crowd here. You did it again. You came from what was obviously a difficult qualifying to deliver a brilliant podium here at Silverstone.
Well, firstly, I didn't do it. The crowd did it. Once again, Silverstone put on an amazing show. We got the greatest crowd here. So big thank you to everyone for supporting. I think I felt the energy. I felt the support, which is the reason we got back up there. Also, just want to say big congratulations to Lando and to McLaren, whereas my family is where I first started. So to see them back up there looking so strong, I mean, that thing was rapid through the highest speed corners. That was, wow. I couldn't keep up, but we had a good little battle on the restart. And the start wasn't so great for me, but the long run on the medium was really great. So I think this is a good positive for us as a team to know that we're not that far away. We just got to keep on pushing, and we can catch those guys at front.
Fantastic to see two British drivers on the podium here. We don't see that so often. We're watching here behind you, that battle you had with Lando. You got him up the inside of Brooklands, and then, well, he just didn't quite have the straight line speed as you went to Cops.
No, once he goes through turn 13 and 14 or 15, he's gone. So we had good performance in the low speed, but yeah, we had a good little battle there. Just didn't have the grunt on the straights. But I'm really happy to start seventh and come third is a mega job. So big thank you to my team. Great pit stops, great work all weekend, and I love this crowd.
Well, Lewis, we should get the final word to you, to the crowd.
Oh well, it continues to be an honor for me to race and represent all of you. So we're going to continue to push. Thank you so much for the support, and I hope you had a great day today. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Lewis Hamilton.
Two Brits on the podium at Silverstone for the first time since 1999. And Lewis questions whether everyone had a good day or not. I think most people had a good day today.
Yeah, it was good. The last thing we need is for this lot to become friends. Mates.
Yeah, I think that these two are the best mates in F1.
But the worst thing on here is just getting the battery after the restart. Yeah, that's used about 10 so much. Span, how can you have a lot? Safety car ruined it. I was really close. Straightforward, it would be 2v3. Yeah, Oscar and Oscar in the same stuff. What's the order is it for me? Hey, I wouldn't go side by side with Oscar into cop. As I go down the stair. Yeah. Oh. So 3-4 is tricky, huh? Yeah, that's the last corner. The beginning of the race was a win. I mean, the whole race was stopped. There were 2 laps. But that's why I was playing last right. Yeah, a little quick between 11 and 14. Just in the race for more rock.
All right. Wow. Doesn't even look like a Red Bull. It's like an awesome. Woo.
Well, you guys do nice. A little bit of quick and high speed. That's taking every lap. Wow. Yeah, I couldn't believe how it was just nice to watch. Every time I say it goes to 15 hours. Wow. Oh. That's interesting. Yeah, that's heavy.
Restart first. Question, 9 seconds.
Just 3 minutes, Hamilton on a Sunday here in Britain, and Max and Lando sat in the wrong chairs as well. I know it's been a while since Lando's been on the podium, but he's sat on that chair.
I don't think we're looking at the backdrop too much. Well-earned seat.
So it's worth saying, they were talking about Oscar Piastri, not finished higher than 8th in the race this season. It is his best result in Formula One, but that could have been a podium for him today. The safety car did come out at the wrong time.
Yeah, the safety car was still a solid podium opportunity. What goes around comes around, and I think that he'll be frustrated because the weekend when McLaren were absolutely on form, he was driving beautifully. He drives like a veteran, doesn't he? Let alone in his first half season of Formula One.
So he has been an absolute solid addition to that McLaren team. He's covering himself well in the early stages of what looks like being a very long Formula One career. For young Oscar Piastri, as young Lewis Hamilton steps onto the podium at the start of the Lewis Hamilton straight. I can say we've got Lewis Hamilton, 38 on 53, still around here. Younger Lando Norris steps onto the podium for the first time at Silverstone. It's a second top of the podium at Silverstone for Max Verstappen, who of course won the 70th anniversary Grand Prix in 2020, and the British Grand Prix today. He's won once again from pole.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, but this is one of my favorite national anthems. I'm not kidding. But I must admit, no.
Well, if we weren't used to it before, we are very much getting used to the combination of the Austrian Dutch and the Austrian national anthem. As once again, it's victory for Max Verstappen as Lucy Fraser, the Secretary of State for Sport, Media and Culture, presents our race winner with the trophy today. He gets the medal, of course, from the FIA, the President Mohammed Ben Sulayem, engraved with the number of this race in the World Championship history. Unique to this particular race. Giampiero Lambiase is the race engineer for Max Verstappen. We hear him a lot. Today we're seeing him on the podium.
Yeah, good lad. He's been around for a long time. He's certainly struck a really brilliant working relationship and collaboration with Max, hasn't he?
Patient, humorous, tolerant, and successful. And for Lando Norris and for McLaren, 30 points scored today. more than they scored for the rest of the season combined. Whatever they thought was possible from Silverstone this weekend, they probably exceeded the expectations. Well done to them. And well done to Mercedes. Upgrades too for that team, and another podium for Lewis Hamilton. But it's 6 wins in a row for Max Verstappen, and he gets not just one trophy, because this is the British Grand Prix, and he gets the famous gold trophy as well.
Did you say 5 wins in a row for Max Verstappen?
Stewart's inquiry. The celebration started too early for a podium full of fun and full of smiles up there. It's 6 wins in a row for Max Verstappen. It's 5 wins in a row from pole position. It's victory in the British Grand Prix, and it's very much high fives all round for the championship leader.
You ain't wrong there.
Hi, I'm Nicole Briscoe, and thank you for watching this presentation of the Formula One Aramco British Grand Prix. Our coverage is presented exclusively by Mercedes-Benz. You can catch post-race coverage right now over on ESPN3. And next up, the Formula One.
Okay, so that's gonna be it for this stream. I'm gonna go ahead and end this. So it's 11:50. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. I'm gonna change it back to the original color now. Oh wait, no, that's not my color. It's purple. Anyway, no, I'm not hosting the Atlanta race. My other friend is hosting it tonight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Formula One race reaction. No, that was just me and Soho. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys. When's the next one? I'll see you guys on July 23rd, and have a good rest of your day.